Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch another bright, sunny morning here in the Ozarks, and it's going to be a hot one. Heat indexes are expected to be anywhere between 100 and 105. We've got a lot of humidity, mid to upper 90s. So just be careful if you're out in the heat and the sun, wherever you're at, because most of the country right now is experiencing some hot weather, but definitely some areas it's very. So I guess another possible proxy war is happening. Those wars and rumors of wars, I'm telling you. This one, most people probably were not paying attention, and I mean, me included, to this region, but Cambodia and Thailand are now attacking each other. There's already been some casualties and some, bombing runs and different things, and it's actually it's looking like it's escalating quite quickly. Who knows if this is going to be something similar to the India-Pakistan, a few weeks back. I don't know, but it is looking like it's a proxy war. Cambodia is allied with China, and Thailand is allied with the United States. It's interesting how all of these little skirmishes and stuff around the world, everyone is either allied with us and China, or China, or us versus Russia. It's kind of interesting, wouldn't you say? We have supplied Thailand with some F-16s, which are being used. China has supplied Cambodia, I think J-10s, I can't remember, but some Chinese fighter jets. So that is, it's another front is what it is. I mean, these little things, aren't just randomly popping up. Like the Armenian, Azerbaijan, that's another one that's kind of continually going on and possibly heating up again. These aren't just random things that are happening. I believe fully that these are purposeful proxy wars to try to test each other's systems, to test each other's weapons, to deplete each other's weapons, to kind of see where there's an opening for a war without a direct conflict between, say, China and the United States. So we'll see how this one works out. It's one of those things that, it could last a few days and then be over. A lot of these small little nations like that, do stuff like this. It could also last weeks and months. It's way too early to tell. But it is, again, China versus the United States. So I guess it'll be one to watch. All the stuff of the Epstein files and the Obama stuff, it's all going forward. We can clearly tell that the White House, the Republicans are doing everything they can, and I'm a solid conservative. In fact, one of the reasons I don't consider myself a Republican is they're not conservative enough. But the Republicans are looking more and more that they are trying to cover up or hide or lock away the Epstein files. Most of the influencers, the strong MAGA influencers online, are just like, it's the nauseating repeating of this message, very much in the same way. This is what's crazy, and whether they see it or not, I don't know, but very much in the same way as, the last 4 years or so of watching the left-leaning influencers trying to push the Biden administration's narrative. And now we're seeing the pro-Trump influencers just regurgitating and pushing this. And this is this is all part of the psyop, folks, of manipulating your thinking, your viewpoints. The internet has done a good job of that. Social media has done a good job of that, ever since. And social media has been out before COVID. But think about it. COVID happened, and a lot of people were locked down. A lot of people were told they had to stay home. They couldn't go out. And even the ones that were in places that it wasn't quite as stringent, and they were still going to the store and still going to work and stuff, they were still isolated from their families in a lot of ways. And so everyone, went to social media. It became a bigger deal in people's lives. It wasn't just something that you occasionally check. And so now it's I mean, it is a major part of life, unfortunately, for so many people. And so it's better able to manipulate and control thinking. And so it's very interesting from almost a kind of a social science perspective of watching this play out, of the manipulation. One day this is the big trending thing and they're all talking about this, but now all of a sudden we're not. Stop talking about that. Just trust the plan. Don't listen to that kind of stuff. That's all fake. Now this is the real stuff. This is what you have to focus on. Which just shows me that it's all a manipulated psyop mess. Doesn't mean that Obama and other people haven't committed crimes or whatever. It's just a big psyop mess. Now, I want to kind of take that and shift over to something that some of you may not want to hear, some of you may not care, but I think it's something. It's one of those things to put up on a shelf, kind of keep in your side view, peripherals, on your radar. It may not happen. It's just all theory. But there has been, over the last couple of weeks, a small but growing group of people I've noticed talking about this as more and more of a possibility. And what I'm speaking of is the possibility that all of this stuff will be an early end to the Trump presidency, by him maybe stepping down and J.D. Vance taking over. And before anyone jumps up and starts yelling too much, I'm not necessarily indicating that Trump would step down for criminal reasons or something like that. I mean, who knows what might be exposed on the Epstein list that might cause pressure there. But there has been a lot of talk here lately about his health. If you've noticed, there's a picture out there of it at an event where his ankles were very large and swollen. They're saying that he has a vascular disorder. A lot of it looks very much similar to something like a congestive heart failure. And so there, almost like that was setting the stage for what might come. So anyways, stepping back a little bit, the article that the Wall Street Journal ran, talking about how, that poem that apparently they claim that Trump wrote, or at least signed off on, and gave to Epstein, and then that caused the lawsuit from Donald Trump. I believe it was just a couple of days before that, J.D. Vance flew to Montana for kind of a secret meeting with Rupert Murdoch, who is the head of the Wall Street Journal. No one really knows what was talked about then, but it's interesting that happened. J.D. Vance has been kind of quiet. He has definitely shown his support, has expressed his support for the president, but has been kind of quiet through all this. Now, the reason why all this is being said is because J.D. Vance is believed to be the real push behind all of the AI technocracy. Not so much as of Elon Musk, but it's J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, you should know this, he's very much closely tied with Peter Thiel and with Palantir. He has a lot of close ties to that, and it's also believed that he has been the one that's tried to mend the relationship between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. So the theories are out there that the big plan was to go ahead and get Trump elected so that J.D. Vance could get in there, and at some point Trump have to step down and J.D. Vance be the president. Now, I know this is a very far-fetched theory. I get it. And even if it doesn't happen, I think that it should bring us back some attention to this technocracy that's being built, and that J.D. Vance is very much a center key figure of it. He has tentacles in all of this, and most of these big tech companies, that are pushing this AI stuff. He has close ties with many of them. And like I said, it's interesting that all of this drama is going on, and he's really kind of kept out of it and been pretty quiet. No one really knows too much of what he's doing because it's not being reported, other than he took that little kind of secret getaway trip to Montana, which was kind of strange, to meet with Rupert Murdoch. All of the time of all of this coming out about Epstein files and everything else. So, whether or not Trump would ever be compelled to step down or anything like that, I think that the very real fact is that J.D. Vance is pushing this kind of stuff, and so it's something to watch, and that this technocracy is still moving forward at rapid speeds, and it bothers me because I've tried to do the research and figure out what is kind of going on in that area behind the scenes, while all of the attention is now on either the Epstein or the Obama stuff. And it's hard to find stuff. It does appear that things are moving forward. There's still stuff happening, but what it is, it's hard to determine. We're going to wake up one day and we're going to have a digital currency, and we're going to have an AI surveillance system. We're going to have drones flying around in our country. We're going to have AI doctors. We're going to have robots serving everyone. You're going to go to a restaurant and you're not going to have a person, waiting on you. You're going to have a robot. It's already happening. It's novelty in some places, but it does exist. It's becoming bigger. Elon Musk was just pushing, posting some AI generated images of that, where you go to like the old fashioned drive-in restaurant where the lady comes out to your car, except it's not a lady, it's a robot. So that is being pushed. That narrative is being pushed very heavily. And I don't think that we're, a long way away. I don't think we're decades away from that. I think we're months, 18 months, 24 months away from that. I think that a lot of this technology could be easily implemented before the end of the Trump presidency, before 2028. I think that's a very real possibility. And that's not that far away, folks. It is not that far away. And I don't think most people are even paying attention to it. And it's very serious. It's very serious. This is a very top priority, I think, for us as preppers, as believers, as homesteaders, to be gearing up for this, to watching our world take a major jump in advancement in technology. This stuff already exists, okay? It's existed for a long time, but there are many indicators. I've read different articles and stuff that there are indicators that a lot of the hidden technologies, that they haven't wanted us to know about, they're wanting to reveal. There was that article or that post on the White House website several months back talking about how, the government, has technologies that people don't even know about. They have all these hidden advanced technologies, and that they're, going to be using those, bringing those to the forefront. There's been a lot of talk about that in the Trump administration, of taking a lot of these advanced technologies that the government has had access to, that the general public has not, or didn't even know existed, and bringing those to the public, making those, public technologies. And it sounds really good that, oh, wow, we're going to have all these cool advanced toys. No, this is all being done to manipulate and control the population. Absolutely, that's the end game. And so we're going to start seeing that more and more. So continually prepare, continually push for self-sufficiency. That's going to be one of the big keys to avoid a lot of this, is how well you can take care of yourself and not need these systems. Because that's what they're going to do. They're not just going to present these advanced technologies as being available. They're going to create situations where you need them, where you have to have them. You know, it's not like they're just going to say, oh, here's a government-backed and controlled digital currency. If you feel like you want to use it, it's going to be, here's a government-controlled and backed digital currency, and the other currency can't be used anymore because it's worthless or whatever. So you got to have this. You know, that's what's going to happen. And so we need to be in a place that we're not so tethered to the system that we need what they're forcing. So get ready and get self-sufficient. Folks, get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.